Yo, everybody on YouTube, welcome in. This video right here is going to be the only single, more than likely, from the album that we're doing for a bird's eye view. All of this is on screen right now because we are doing the album review live, which we always do album reviews live. So I didn't know if this was worthy of, like, you know, a whole dedicated video. And it also kind of gives you an understanding of what it looks like whenever we do album reviews on stream and single reviews on stream. If y'all guys want to join in and y'all want to be part of the community that's chatting it up like right here, then consider joining over on Twitch. Second link in the description. We are starting to get a decent amount of following over there. So the more people in Twitch, the better. The experience of live streaming is tighter. You get a more sense of community whenever you're on the stream with everybody else. So if y'all guys want to check that out, maybe you don't know what live stream looks like, maybe you've never been into it, consider joining mine since you're into the channel, and hopefully it gives you a first step into like, oh, okay, now I get why people are saying the stream is fire. But Eminem's verse right here, obviously huge fan of Eminem. As you know, the channel, my knowledge on Eminem is kind of what popped the channel off to begin with. Yeah, I mean, people are saying that this verse from Eminem isn't necessarily his best. Maybe it's a little like awkward or something. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what people are talking about, but I'm not going to let that influence my opinion quite yet until after I hear the verse. But we're doing From a Bird's Eye View, Corday. I think it's Parables. I think that's how it's pronounced, the remix. So let's get it. That beat is crazy. Ad-libs are kind of fire right here too.
Done seen some shit within my lifetime. My light shine bright. Protect your energy from poison when them pythons strike. My first mistake was doing robberies on Nikon bikes. Watch my moves and I'ma show you what an icon like. Y'all let bygones be bygones.
Watch my moves. I'm gonna show you what an icon like. That's hard.
Protect your energy from poison when them pythons strike. My first mistake was doing robberies on Nikon bikes. Watch my moves and I'ma show you what an icon like.
Damn,
y'all let bygones be bygones, right? Nigga, fuck your truce, bust your move. And if that nigga touch your shoes, you better blast on them. And on my mama, nigga, I'ma get that cash on them. 100 on a dash on them, swerve. Born from
just the swagger, son, of fucking Corday. I don't know why people don't necessarily like aren't hip to him. How fucking old am I? Hip to him? What? I don't know why people don't get hype when they like hear his music or like when they see that he's dropping. Like he's the truth, bro. His voice, his intellect, the way he speaks, the enunciation of the words, the clarity of the rhymes. You know, he's not doing anything too crazy. It's just like, let me hit hard the way I know how to hit hard.
I'ma get that cash on them, 100 on a dash on them, swerve. Born from the trench, you from the burbs, nigga. Fuck the early bird, nigga. I'ma get this motherfucking chicken. And if a nigga ever got a problem, nigga, we can fucking solve it on my mama, nigga. I just been itching to prove myself. I just pray throughout the struggle, I don't lose myself. Glock no safety, plaques and coat, I might shoot myself. They catching bullets Glock like no 2 safety. Odells, and nigga, you gon' tell. But I can tell you by
catching bullets like 2 Odells, like you're gonna catch them no matter what, bro. Glock no safety. The Glock has a trigger safety for those that are wondering, but I get what he's saying, but I don't want the gun people to be like, fucking ban all guns in the United States. There's no safeties on Glock 26s.
Myself, they catching bullets like 2 Odells, and nigga, you gon' tell. But I can tell you about the time was going hard up in the paint, and I can tell you shit that other niggas can't. Let me tell you, I can tell you about the time I had to drop a nigga rank, and I can tell you shit I did up off the drink. Let me tell you,
dog, this song is hard no matter what, every time.
20 bands and use that shit to get my brother out the can. Let me tell you, I can tell you about the time I had a penny in the plan. I can tell you shit, but you won't understand. Let me tell you, first and foremost, for every door that's open,
bro, that hook is crazy. Why don't I remember this? This is fire, son.
Plan, I can tell you shit, but you won't understand. Let me tell you, first and foremost, for every door.
Oh, I was gonna look up a parable. What the fuck is a parable? My vocabulary is pretty solid. A simple story used to illustrate a moral or spiritual lesson. The storytelling that he's doing right here, like I'm using this simple story to tell you the complexities that come with being Corday.
Let me tell you, I can tell you
hard,
about
bro.
the time I had a penny in the plan. I can tell you shit, but you won't understand. Let me tell you. First and foremost, for every door that's open, the door closed. Be the nigga, take his Bordeaux. Upgrade my wardrobe, but Lord knows. Living like this, it leads a short road, a dead end. Or prison time where we was heading. Instead, when I got bread, broke it with brethren. Eyes open, leave the house, move like a veteran. Made a couple dollars from comers, my niggas flexing. Nigga got a problem, then I can make some corrections. Okay, cool. Still with the same nigga since grade school.
He's sliding right now.
Give a fuck about your shade room when I had made room for everybody on that late moon and word the race room. Had to bring the motherfucking schwank on them. And I ain't even.
Yo, bro, his fucking scheme and the delivery right there. Holy shit, don't give a fuck about your shade room, bro. Talking about that Instagram page that just talking about all the fucking gossip in Hollywood. Don't give a fuck about none of that.
Give a fuck about your shade room when I had made room for everybody.
When I had made room
and word the race room. Had to bring the motherfucking schwank on them.
Schwank.
And I ain't even wanna had to blank on them.
Ay.
That lamb truck got a full tank on them.
Ay.
A nigga better not look at me wrong. It's certain shit that I can't say on this song. But let me tell you, nigga, I can tell you about the time.
Dog. Corday's fucking 2 verses right here. Perfection, bro. On this beat, the delivery, the energy, what he's saying. Corday's verses are a 9. They might actually be perfect for the style of beat, for what he's saying, for the contextual, like what the song is about. It's a parable. Like there's things that I can't even tell you about in this story that I'm telling you about my moral dilemmas and who it is to be Corday. Bro.
And I can
it's honestly this beat too.
Let me tell you.
This beat is actually helping along with like the sinisterness and like the dark tone of like, you don't know who the fuck you're talking to. That's what the song sounds like. It's like you don't know who the fuck you're talking to, and even if I put it in a story, you still won't know who the fuck you're talking to.
Tell you about the time I had to drop a nigga rank, and I can tell you shit I did up off the tank on him. I can tell you about the time I signed a deal for 20 bands and used that shit to get my brother out the can. Let me tell you. I can tell you about the time I had a penny in the plan. I can tell you shit, but you won't understand.
Here we go.
Let me tell
I've
you,
seen some shit within my lifetime. At one time, I can still remember just how bad I used to want 5 mics. My biggest dream was just to make it in the unsigned hype. It's so hard for me to fathom this was once my life. Should I make you wanna cop out like a plea?
For those that don't know, who might not be old heads enough to know, five mics in The Source is a perfect score. The Source magazine, which eventually he ended up having beef with. Also, Unsigned Hype was like a section in the magazine saying like, hey, look out for Eminem. He's the next big artist. He's the next unsigned artist at the current moment.
I still remember just how bad I used to want
5 mics were a W here.
Just to make it in the unsigned hype. It's so hard for me to fathom this was once my life. Should I make you wanna cop out like a plea deal? So I treat you beat like it's Tekashi. Spit on that bitch like Big Mill. My addiction got me weak-willed. I'm relapsing. I think I can't seem to stop taking pills. And Dr. DRE, he still keeps on giving me refills.
Hey, Dr. DRE keeps giving me refills. Tekashi, the fucking Meat Mill bars, they're nice, but I can see how this delivery is definitely nowhere near as like smooth or fluid as Corday's was on the same beat.
I'm relapsing. I think I can't seem to stop eating beat pills. And Dr. DRE, he still keeps on giving me refills.
I didn't hear the beat pills part though. Like Beat Pills, the speaker, Dr. Dre owned beats, prescription pills. Why didn't I hear that originally?
That bitch like Big Mill. My addiction got me weak-willed. I'm relapsing. I think I can't seem to stop eating beat pills. And Dr. DRE, he still keeps on giving me refills. Send them at me, mama to indiscriminately. Women and men and little kids, senior citizens to the sake of
fuck, man, I have to say it because people are gonna think that, oh, you missed the bar, that the beats like he fucking like he's eating these beats that Dr. Dre keeps feeding him, and he's eating them up, and Dr. Dre's the doctor. Beat pills. I feel like I have to say it because if I don't say it, someone in the comment section is gonna be like, Ernest fell off. He don't catch shit.
And little kids, senior citizens, to the sake is empty. Into a frenzy, but no gift is in me. I'm stingy, and that is the motherfucking difference between them and me. That's the reason I'm my Louis Vuitton. What am I? Gorier than.
All right, so I could see where people were like, okay, I don't know about these about Eminem's flow, because it's nowhere near, like I said, it's nowhere near as fluid as Corday's is. But this is like the Eminem of 2022. Like, he's going to switch up the flow multiple times on the track. You know, like, this is what you should come to expect from him. Wordplay, multiple switches, multiple delivery switches. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but this is who Eminem is in 2022.
Belong, yeah. This rap shit is something that you'll never see me at. Like senior prom. What I mean's the
Senior
bars
prom.
higher than Cheech and Chong. When you give
Higher
me
than Cheech and Chong.
I call my stanza fan club, cause whoever it's unleashed upon fucking beats upon like police batons. Y'all are window shoppers, bunch of peeping toms. Still got that
Window shoppers, peeping toms, beats like the police beat up on. Like the bars are, I don't want to say they're easy to catch, but they're definitely straightforward right here enough to where like if you're looking for bars, you should be able to hear them. If you're looking for double entendres and wordplay, as soon as he says something, your brain should already be prepped for whatever the punchline is. So it's not like crazy, like anything too crazy in depth lyrically, but really it's just the flow switch up. And I don't know if it's me or if the mix, but I feel like his voice is really low compared to Corday's.
like senior prom. What I mean's the bars.
Also never seen me at like senior prom because he didn't graduate.
All the window shoppers, bunch of peeping toms. Still got that bullseye on my back, red dot on my head, yeah, blood on my hands. For some of the rhymes that I've said, police squad in the task, got him hot on my trail, like my stepfather with the belt. I got swat on my ass, I was painfully shy. Now I'm proud of myself, like Obama's kids. I came out of my shell, and I can promise this.
I came out of my shell.
Shit, no daughters, bitch. Here we go. Every single word of it true, so without further ado, it's return of the ruthless, more murderous than mucus. So what you're gonna do? Think I'm allergic when I point this motherfucking burner at you. I throw shade, it'll be curtains for
allergic
you.
at you.
The birth of a new word, so me who's determined to do permanent damage with the words that I threw birds off you. I'm referred to as you, circling you like I'm a vulture. Features are tournaments, I turn them into turning me looses like verbal abuse, language hurtful to use, cursing at you. Made a couple of mistakes that occurred in my youth, jumped the hurdle, the two word, but I'm through with telling you about the food stamps and the
God,
government
bro, the fucking verse is so just like in my face, relentless the whole time. Oh, I'm still expecting a set, like another hook. That's why I'm not pausing it, because I'm waiting for the verse to end so I can talk about it. But it just keeps fucking going and going. And this is like, how many flow switch-ups have we had? This is like the 7th flow in his verse. The 7th major rhyme scheme. The 7th fucking delivery. Bro, again, it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea for sure. But if you're here for the impressive, if you're here just for the impressive nature that Eminem's capability is, you should be able to fuck with this. You might not fuck with the song like in general as like a crazy listenable song. I do think that Corday, I'm happy that Corday's verses were first, because it doesn't like Eminem's verse doesn't distract me from Corday's verses, which in my opinion, at least on this beat, so far are better than Eminem's verse. Just because, but Eminem obviously has more technical skill. I don't want to say obviously Corday might be technical skilled, but Eminem shows off his technical skill a lot more on this track than Corday does, because Corday's just trying to ride the beat and stay on topic. Eminem is on topic because he's talking about like the shit from my past. Back in the day, I wanted 5 mics in the source, and you know, I'm still reaping what I've sowed from the shit that I've said in the past. But it's nowhere near as direct. It's nowhere near as like, okay, I get what he's saying straightforward, you know?
I'm through with telling you about the food stamps and the government cheese and how we used to get school lunches for free. Already told you about the holes up in
I got free lunch.
shoes and rustler jeans when it was mother, little brother, and me. I told you about being kicked out 20 degrees, no money to eat. About the thrift stores and being piss poor. The Christmases Ma had gifts for us when bro and me discovered that she was wrapping shit up around the house to stick it under the tree.
I'm done telling y'all about that shit, yo. I'm done telling y'all about all the past. I'm moving forward. But here's like this last couple of bars before I stop talking about it. All right, so based off of what everybody was saying, I was expecting Eminem's verse to be super whack. It wasn't. It wasn't bad at all. It doesn't flow as much as Corday's does. I do prefer Corday's 2 verses. There's enough flow switch up and there's enough like to keep it interesting. I don't know. I just feel like his voice is better suited for this beat. But Eminem's verse wasn't terrible. It's not his best verse ever, but it's not his worst either. I mean, if you think it's a mid-end verse, I can't disagree with you, because it's not his worst and it's not his best. So it is literally the definition of mid for Eminem. Let's say that. For Eminem, this is a decent verse. If it were anybody else but Eminem, this would be a solid verse, because, you know, they're showing off everything. But it's like a catch-22 being Eminem, being Slim Shady. No matter what you do, because you've proven all of this, you have to keep proving. Like, this is an impressive verse from Eminem, but because Eminem has done so much more, people are going to say it's mid. When technically speaking, from a technical standpoint of rhyming and rapping, it is not mid, it is above average. because it's Eminem, people are gonna call it mid. It's like Eminem has to go to Mars, and if he lands on the moon, it's like, oh well, shit, that's mid. But if somebody else lands on the moon, we're like, oh shit, this motherfucker made it to the moon. You know what I mean? That's the consensus for me, is that the verse was solid, but for Eminem, it's not his best. I wanted his flow to match Corday's a little bit more. I think that's why I like Corday's verses more, because they are they're a little bit easier to digest. And I think that's where Corday and J. Cole have a lot in common, is the fact that like they are extremely talented rappers, but they don't go overboard with like trying to shove it down your throat. They make it's an easy to listen to song on Corday's part. Same thing for J. Cole. I think if you're Eminem, you have to take everything with a grain of salt whenever people criticize your flow, because the world knows you're one of the best rappers alive. But when someone says that your verse is just okay, they're comparing it to you only. You know, like if I say, that's just a decent M verse, it's because I'm thinking of other M verses. I'm not like, oh, compared to Corday's, that was decent. Like, no, compared to Corday's, technically speaking, that flow was way crazier. But compared to other Eminem, so if I was Eminem, that's what I would say. I was like, yeah, but you're comparing me to me. So still, overall, it's a W, you know?